So Astroneer is the game that I wanted to play for really long time since its early access. And now the game is actually fully released and I actually played it and I played a lot of it. Well, in this video we're gonna be breaking down whether Astroneer is actually a great game or not and whether it's worth it or, well, not. So without further ado, let's just get it started. So what is actually Astroneer? I'm pretty sure you have already some ideas what this game is all about, but it's actually very difficult to explain for the ones who doesn't know. But I will try. So Astroneer is if Minecraft, Satisfactory, and Kerbal Space Program of all things had a baby, and that baby just jumped into a pool of very bright paint. Well, that's a simple explanation as it can get about Astroneer. So in reality, Astroneer is actually a crafting adventure game. Something similar to Minecraft, but without an enemies. This game does not have any enemies. There are some dangers and there are survival elements, but there are other enemies that you need to fight or you can fight or that can kill you. Except for the plants. There are plants that can kill you. And basically when you start a game, you land on a planet and the terrain of the planet can be fully manipulated, meaning that you can actually destroy and rebuild everything as you see fit. So that's where a comparison to Minecraft actually goes. You go around, you mine resources, you build your machines, and that's where Satisfactory settles in. So like in Satisfactory, you actually can automate your different machines and build, well, more and more complex things. You build these machines, you mine for more resources, and eventually you will hit a wall where you actually need some resources that do not exist on the planet. And now you'll actually need to build a spaceship, and you can actually freely travel between different planets, which there are 7 of in that solar system. And well, entire game is actually all that. You go around, you craft resources, craft your bases, go around the planets and build better bases, etc, etc. So overall, the goal of the game does not look very interesting or rather very intriguing. However, this game is not about the goals. This game is all about the gameplay, and this game actually features very amazing and very cool gameplay. Survival elements of this game is basically based on 2 things. First is that you need a constant supply of oxygen because yeah, you need to breathe air, and to do so you need to build a system of tethers basically that connects to your oxygenator on your base, or you can use your vehicles who has an oxygen supply, and you need an energy. And there are actually 2 main ways for energy production. There is wind or solar, but there are also fuel generators as well that you can just constantly run. And gameplay loop is basically that. You just build minor resources, build better machines, research more interesting stuff, and uncover more and more interesting points on the planets, which there are a lot of. The planets are actually pretty beautiful, and each one of them features various unique places that you can uncover. But the main fun and the biggest downfall of this game is actually its interface, or rather lack thereof. As you can see from gameplay, there's very little interface or HUD. There's practically none of it, because everything is integrated directly into the game. Even in inventory system, when you go and look into your inventory of a backpack, you literally see your backpack and how things are actually sorted there. And if you take any of the resources, these resources take a physical space. And if you want to store these resources, you literally use a physical space, even in large storage facilities that you can build later in the game. And that actually makes game pretty interesting and pretty fun, and you actually see all the fruit of your work, and it's actually pretty fun and pretty amazing. But why it's a downfall? Well, because it's pretty difficult to get used to it. I won't be lying to you, when I started the game, first hour of the game was pretty big chore for me. I didn't like how it worked, but when I got used to it after around an hour or 2, then it got pretty intuitive and it got pretty fun and interesting. But you need to go through this 1 hour because yeah, it's pretty difficult to find out where the things are and how things work and how you can build stuff. And it even took me a few minutes to find out where the terrain manipulator is, which is on keyboard. Just press E and yeah, you can just take a terrain manipulator and just get all the resources that you want. Yeah. It was not explained very easily, but maybe it was just me who missed that. Overall, it can be a bit difficult at first, but it's actually not that difficult, and you will get used to it pretty quickly. So what's the final goal of this game? Well, there is none. Your goal is actually to build more and more and more and eventually encompass all of the planets of your solar system. That's basically it. There is no overarching goal and no deeper meaning in this game. There are some remnants of the story and the lore, but overall there is nothing very big and very important. Basically, you are an explorer who's exploring this star system, and that's basically it. And I won't lie to you, if you don't like the crafting games and if you don't like playing as a miner or playing as a researcher in any type of the games and you want constant action, you're not gonna like this game. That's just truth. This game has a very niche audience. If you like the game like Satisfactory and Factorio, and if you like Minecraft for the things that you can actually create in that game, then I'm pretty sure you will like this game. And if you want constant action or constant tense atmosphere or even a little bit of horror, then no, absolutely not. This game is absolutely not for you. This game is just incredibly brightly colored. There are no enemies. You can die from falling heights or oxygen suffocation, or some random plants can kill you, but other than that, there's no danger. And that's basically the main point of the game. Your main point is just to relax and enjoy the game, not to constantly fight for survival. Okay, but how much does this cost? So game is actually available on Steam for the base price of $29.99 for tier 1 countries and $14.49 for tier 2 countries, and it can go as low as $15.99 for tier 1 countries and $9.41 for tier 2 countries. Yeah, that's a weird sale number. Basically, it can go at as low as $10 for tier 2 countries. And the game is actually available on a Gamepass as well, and that's how I myself actually played it. So yeah, you can actually play this game for free if you want. So let's get to the conclusions. Is this game actually worth it for any of those prices or not? Well, if you like crafting games and if you don't care about any action in these games, and if you want to build and just expand and do things like that, if you like games like Satisfactory or Factorio, then this game is actually worth it. You can actually have a lot of fun of it, especially if you're playing this with friends, because this game has full multiplayer and it is much more fun to play this game with your friends. If you have friends, then it's absolutely worth it, even for a higher price, even for the full price. However, if you don't like crafting games and if you are seeking actions in the game, and especially if you don't like the survival genre, which this game is not very deep into, but still some elements are there, then no, you're not gonna enjoy this game for any price. This is just that. You can try it and you can test it on a sale, and especially if you can test it on a Game Pass. But if you don't like this type of games, you don't like the relaxing type of games where you just build stuff, like for example similarly to a Stardew Valley, then no, you're not gonna enjoy this game. This game is difficult to get into, especially if you don't like crafting games. So you are gonna be frustrated during your first hour and you might not want to play this game anymore after that. So yeah, there's that. Overall conclusion is this: if you like crafting games and you like this relaxing type of games where it's very difficult to die, then this game is absolutely worth it, especially for the discount. If you have friends who are playing this game, or if you have friends who are willing to buy this game and play it with you, then this game is absolutely worth it for the full price. And if you don't like crafting games, and especially didn't like games like Satisfactory or Factorio, then no, this game is not worth it, even for a discount. I would still test it if you have a Game Pass, but other than that, no. And yes, games are also available on consoles. Well, this should be it for today. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about Astroneer? Have you played it? Do you want to play it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos like this one. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.